Poseidon continues his onslaught on Argos and is
bloody hell,
determined to
leave me
destroy the
alone.
city. And word around the Agora is that the god might also enlist the aid of one of his consorts to turn your city to stone.
Oh, come
Only
on.
Perseus, who is off founding the city of Mycenae, will
Hey.
be able to help you slay this monster. But even this worthy hero won't be able to defeat the creature by himself. He will need some magical items to vanquish this unsightly foe.
Oh, he's already got some winged sandals. Some cleverer herders have discovered how to tame the wild goat. At a dairy, the goat's rich milk can be made into succulent cheese that your citizens find quite tasty. So that helps with the fact that we can't fish. Got to fulfill an upcoming quest. 48 slabs of marble for a colony, and 24 jugs of olive oil for a colony. This doesn't sound too bad actually. I've already got this marble and the olive oil production facilities. And to fulfill the forthcoming quests will probably be to do with bringing Perseus in to find the winged sandals again, most likely. Titan difficulty? Yes. Not Olympian. No. To the city! Colony monument available. With the founding of a colony at Miletos, your city's influence is spreading. You can now celebrate your city's successful expansion by building a commemorative monument. Thank you very much. Anyway, yeah, there's Poseidon. He was missing last time. The game glitched a bit, so he didn't turn up.
You have made me your enemy, and I shall make the sea your enemy too.
I haven't done anything. I'm entirely blameless in all of this. If you remember back to the episode before last, it was decided by council to give the city to Hera and not to Poseidon. And because the council decided that way, he's taken it out on me. So, you know. Yabu sucks. Can I build a water crossing so we can actually access this side of the river now? For the good it'll do me. It's alright, we stockpiled a whole bunch of fish, so that's something. God, that looks productive, doesn't it? A bit too productive. Grows large olive tree. How is there only 23 in stock? I've forgotten this city. It's been so long since I've done it. Unemployment at 3%. That seems reasonable. I might have... Oh, I think Poseidon's gone now. Backup storage for olive oil here. Do I have any elite housing? If not, why not? Well, we've got plenty of goods, haven't we? So... And Miletos, whose Cassiopeia's now just moved in and taken it. They buy wine, which is strange because I'm sure I produced wine when it was there. Sell wheat, wood and bronze. And Ethiopia buys wine. So nobody actually sells any wine. I thought Miletos would do. No reason not to have some posh housing, because they will pay hefty taxation. What are they missing? Culture. What kind of culture are they missing? I don't think they have a gymnasium, do they? Perhaps I could just say gym. So we can build that. Let's get some posh housing. Right, yes, posh housing. Sorry about that. I'm afraid that brief gap there you heard there was actually 2 months or something like that. I got distracted, and then I got distracted again, and then I went on holiday, and I came back. I had a very nice time, thank you. And now I'm back where I started, but rather than starting it all over again, because I thought I had quite a good commentary going to start with, I just paused midway through the video and picked it up again. But I do remember, because I went back and watched what I previously recorded, I was talking about posh housing. To think I will build up here, but first, probably want to do something about the food. If you're wondering why there's black clouds over the fishermen, they've been cursed by Poseidon. If you're wondering why I didn't see Poseidon first time round, they only came back when I reloaded the game, and I reloaded the game on this city so that I could finish it again. Get the, not the victory screen, but the mission intro screen for Miletos. Or is this Miletos? No, it was Miletos before, wasn't it? Yeah. So I'm going to get the introduction screen and the mission statement thing up. Which is fine. And then as I reloaded, he suddenly appeared where I was missing in the mission before. So never had that happen before, where I've been missing a god. Also got to pay attention to tributes, because too often I let these go to waste, and you know, bronze is quite expensive, as is wood. I mean, it's not that expensive compared to Vero prices, but I don't want to not get tribute, because it feels wrong. It's like when cities send a gift to you. I always try and make room for it, because just saying no, it's just not the done thing, is it? When somebody gives you something, I mean, you're all smiles and say, "Oh, that's lovely. That's the, you know, it's just the marble I wanted," and then, you know, after Christmas, you might slowly tricked away or something like that. None of that seems to happen. I always enjoy the gifts I get. Usually clothes. I always get some socks or some underwear for Christmas, and it's great because that's about the only time that I get socks. So I love it. It's really quite useful. I get other gifts as well. I don't want you to think that it's some weird thing that we do where we just get each other underwear. I get other forms of clothing. Like, I don't know, gloves or something. Anyway, I'm going to get... anyway, less about my life. I'm going to have these accept some wood, and if you are just accepting bronze, get all the bronze. So much bronze. So much bronze you won't know what to do with it. You'll be all bronzed out. Sorry, I'm still stuck in Trump mannerisms. And nobody else I know it is, but I still talk about the best things. I know the best people, the fantastic people, you know, or whatever I'm talking about. So we've got plenty of food stockpiled, but before, I don't know how well that's going to last. I'll do two things before I get around to the posh housing. I'm going to rebuild my fisheries. 2, 3. Probably want to get a trading port on the go somewhere over here, and then I'm going to build a river crossing, since we now can. And I haven't done before when I've played this mission, because I have played all the missions on this campaign before. I'm sorry to say. Although I can't remember a lot of what happens because I've got an atrocious memory. So it'll be a new experience for both you and me. I think I mentioned before, I just don't like the river crossings in this game. I just... Really, that's the best you can do? Just some logs across the river that's half submerged, and they cross all the way across a great expanse like that. I mean, in Pharaoh and in Emperor, you used to have to use ferry landings for a river that size, and in Emperor, you got like wooden bridges for like tiny little bridges over small expanses of water. When you got to the big ones, you got lovely stone bridges. So yeah, -1 point for ZEUS on that one. The bridges, not good enough, needs to try harder. I'm just going to turn the sound down a little. I always do this every video. I'll tell you for why. It's because I set it to... Ooh, that was a bit too quiet. I set the sound to 50 when I'm editing, because I thought, set my computer's volume to 50, set everything to 50, the video editing software to 50, then if it sounds good on that, it's up to the viewer to increase it or decrease it as they see fit. Which seems fair to me. Yeah, it's not booming great big voices it would be on 100, and it's not... Actually no, on 100, yeah, it'd be really loud, so I'd have to talk really loudly to try and be heard over it. And that just, you know, I'm in control. I don't need to raise my voice to drown out the game. The game needs to be quiet for me. I bought it. I'm in charge. If you wonder what I'm doing here, I'm actually going to set up a dairy industry because that seems like a sensible thing. So let's have... How much money have we got? Plenty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Did you like how I sort of built the road first and then built all of these? Yes, thank you. $10, $11, $12, $13, $14, $15. We'll have a roadblock there, there, and a maintenance shed there. And that 3% unemployment has already disappeared, but now it's disappeared even more. And this should equal what's known in the business as a hell of a lot of goats. Currently support 576 people. That's not very many. So here we watch as the game's estimation thing, which you always have to take with a pinch of salt, which is a shame, because if you're trying to go for an efficient city, you don't know if it's going to feed 2,208 people, or it's going to plummet down in a minute to, you know, 200. Still less than when it started. May have overdone it on the goats. Yeah, I don't know. Oh! Not enough goats. Evidently, there's still space. So I can apparently feed 4,000 people with that. And then what I'm going to have is complete the circuit around there like that. Second maintenance shed. There.
I am Athena. Worship me, and a
Good for
sacred
you.
grove will grace your city.
There's a few more granaries. I might have some over here that just accept cheese. Also get wheat from somewhere. Probably can import that from Egypt, I should imagine. Although a city that has to import food is really quite in trouble. It is in these games anyway, because people never provide enough. But it's nowhere near as much as you can provide for yourself. Which is a shame, because some of the great trading cities in the world. Well, imagine Venice. How much food could you get from Venice? It's basically an island in a swamp, a swampy island. Aside from a bit of fish, it had to import practically everything. I mean, after a certain size, most cities do. Well, it seems fairly stable. I can support 4,000 people with that. But not just as well, because I need a lot more people. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fit as many people into this space here as I can. I don't know how well we're going to do with desirability. Somewhere between a fish yard and a granary full of fish. As a region, it's probably going to stink. Look, I've only just built them and they're already cursed by Poseidon, who's not even here. Let's not forget to rebuild that. Oh, and I want your road to go down there, and a road to go across there, so everything's all linked together. Build me a pyre to roast my friend upon. I assume it means that the friend's already dead, wants to burn the corpse on the pyre, but we never quite know. I also think he's talking about, what do we call it, thingy-bob and whatnot. Achilles in the Aeneid, when his best friend, possibly lover, Patroclus, is killed by Paris because Patroclus wore Achilles' armour when Achilles wouldn't join the battle because he sulked. Because Agamemnon did something to... I think it took one of his girls, I think, that they'd captured in battle against... You know, he was sulking. He said, fine, if you won't join the battle, Patroclus says, will you give me your armour so people will think that you're in the battle and the Trojans will lose heart? I says, fine, that's alright then. But just don't go near Paris because he will kill you. So it works for a short time, he goes in, people think that Achilles has rejoined the battle, the Greeks start winning again, and then Patroclus gets ahead of himself and goes and tries to fight Paris and gets himself killed. And I think that has something to do with it. And then I think Achilles joins the battle for real then. Food, fleece. How the finances doing? Holding up okay. And oil. Which is surprising. I thought with all this building I've been doing I would be in trouble, but I'm not. It's 2 maintenance sheds next to each other because that looks nice. They're in the wrong place, aren't they? What I actually meant to do is put them all in the middle. But I guess I'm not thinking. Not quite what I meant to do. I only meant to get rid of that one. We'll put that up a bit because I always do it and I always think it looks quite untidy. Right, now I'm running out of money, so I'm going to stop. I don't think I'm going to import anything. I'm not importing anything, am I? No. So if we just hold tight, my marble exports and my fleece exports will see me through, theoretically. My only expenditures are wages at the moment. Shame no one's olive oil because, you know, we're drowning in this stuff. Oh, look at all that. In fact, it might be an idea to just scale back a little bit. But I won't talk such nonsense. I'd rather just cram more people in than face facts. Oh, look how well stuck that Agora is. It's only just been established and people have already got all they need. I'm up to 2,000 people, which is good. We need to get to build a commemorative monument so people know how happy they are. Yeah. Once I get to build a colony monument, I'll do that in a bit. Oh yeah, there's one that tells people how happy they are. I'll build that later. And what I might do as well, because I'm feeling a bit dictatorial, I'll put a watch post in. Because I'm not having what happened last time. I mean, they're not happy. Without that guard post there, they would riot after a time. But again, they do live in hovels, so who can blame them?
Build me a fire to roast my friend.
Serve me well and fulfill this quest. Your rewards will be many.
In my wisdom, I, Athena, have decided to offer Perseus my mirror shield, which perfectly reflects any image sent... Oh, there's a full stop there. Reflects any image. Full stop. Send Perseus to get it. The hero will know exactly what to do with it when the time comes. Just give it to us, will you? Awkward zones, huh? So we need to build Perseus Hall. We did last time, which means we need... What was it? Lots of marble, lots of olive oil, 2... sanctuaries, one to Hermes and one to Athena, and some drachma. Hey, my money's come back again. That was quick. We'll see how this city develops. This. I'll put gazebo in there, gazebo in there, and a gazebo in there. Fill it up with parks. Except that one. Oh, culture, that's what I was doing as well. So if we say we'll put a theatre in there, a gymnasium there, and a podium. I put podium there because then it's something between, you know, the less appetizing parts of the city. It's neutral. It doesn't really matter how desirability there. I didn't know sea trade had stopped, but thank you. Poseidon has grown bored with stirring up the seas near your city. The tumultuous waters have calmed once again, and trade ships can return to your city. Well, isn't that nice? Like I said earlier, I don't know why he's having to go with a B. Perhaps because he can't take it out on the council, so he's just taking it out on the nearest victim he can. I want a trade post with Miletos, not particularly because there's anything that can sell me, although they can sell me bronze, wood and wheat. Ooh, lots of wheat. Thanking you. That 8 wood will actually be quite useful. I can build Perseus' Hall anywhere because I don't think it requires any desirability. How big is it? Yeah. He's got a very large house, hasn't he? I'll stick it there. He wants 16 skeins of fleece, 6 pieces of sculpture, 3,000 drachma, sanctuary to Hermes, sanctuary to Athena. Yeah. I may as well get one out of the way. Let's start with Hermes. Like, do you mind? I'm going to build it near the housing because I think it improves desirability. This needs more workers. I'm working on it. What's their problem? It's not appealing enough where they live.
Worship me, and I will bring you more joy than any other god.
Others throughout the world will think more highly of you if you worship me, and any blessing another god can grant you, I can grant you too. He's also the only god that can chase off Poseidon, so he'll be useful for a 3rd sanctuary. In fact, what I might do is build Hermes, Athena sanctuaries, then get Perseus in the city, then destroy Athena's sanctuary because I don't need it. I've got enough olive oil, thanks anyway. And then build Zeus' sanctuary and then somebody else's. Seems like an awful lot of... Ooh, like the gates of Hades. I don't know what was going on there. An awful lot of... Ooh, ooh. There's that. I don't know what building it was attached to, and I don't want to know. Right. 90 drachma. Bargain. So let's have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them. We'll have a couple, 2 sculpture studios. And you can accept sculptures while you're there. The maintenance shed. Now that should be done lickety-split, but can't guarantee it. Hygiene's near perfect and rising. That's because I've got 2 types of food, which helps. I can't believe how slowly these people are all working. Well, I can because they're all short-staffed, because not enough people are moving in. Migrate faster. Oh yeah, water. It's always the little things. If I build a fountain there, will it go in entirely the wrong direction? I'm going to say probably. Now what? You've got fleece. What about you? You've got culture. Everybody has everything, so start upgrading. That's better. Room for 364 more people as we speak, and there's jobs for all of them.
I don't know what my assistants are complaining about. These parcels are feather light.
Needs more culture. You've got plenty of culture, as I've said before. That's understandable. So what I'm going to do is going to put in gazebo or two, and a gazebo there. That's fair enough. So what I'm going to do, perhaps I should have put in some fancy roading. I'm going to put a couple of benches there so you can sit and watch the fish come in. Oh, might put a couple of benches in there as well. I don't know if Doric columns actually block out desirability like residential walls do in Emperor Rise of the Middle Kingdom. I don't know if they've developed that yet.
I've come from the underworld to send you on a crucial quest.
Ooh. Hades' Helmet of Invisibility. If Perseus is going to save your city from a coming scourge, the hero is going to need my Helmet of Invisibility. I, Hades, will gladly relinquish it if Perseus comes to retrieve it personally. So demanding. So I've got plenty of fleece, but not much else. 6 pieces of sculpture. What are they missing, apart from everything? Missing a lot of marble. Still missing a lot of workers. Well, people are streaming in. Ooh, Mycenae has been discovered. I'm willing to buy more skeins of fleece from your city. It's amazing how quickly we get through its supply. Isn't it? Actually, my own demand's gone up. So what I'm going to do, got plenty of money. Check that after I started building. Let's get some more garden sheds on the go. 3, 4, 5, 6. That's double the number. We should be fine. This is the repetitive strain injury simulator. There we go. That's doubled fleece production, which should do something for me. You can stock 36 if you can fit 36 in there, but I'm pretty sure my own population wants some fleece as well. Oh, look at that! I can support 6,772. Look at all that cheese! So much cheese! Would anybody like to buy any cheese? I've got loads of it. Buys wine, wheat, wood, bronze. There's Mycenae, and there's Ternum, the giant. Did anyone you know garlic before? Yeah, well, you know, it still looks like a piece of vegetation. As far as I know, you have nothing to do with the place. Maybe I ought to look up what. Don't worry, I'll do it later. Who or what Ternarum Actually is or was, because it's not doing much for me.
My
It's just
dearest,
sitting there.
worship me, and I'll make your soldiers find great strength.
What soldiers? But, thanks anyway. Culture. Who's not getting culture? Oh, taxation. Well, you're not evolving anyway, so no great loss. I'd say it's quite good that they've staggered immigration a little bit, because what used to happen in Pharaoh is you build a load of housing and then all the housing that could be provided to it was provided to it. All these migrants would swoop in and your population would suddenly go up to where it was before, like in a couple of months. This one, and in Emperor Rise of the Middle Kingdom, like there's 464 people places, but only 32 people have come this month. So it takes quite a while to get your population up, say, for plague strikes or something, which is good because it adds a bit of challenge to it. You can't just turn around and say, oh well. You have to really try hard to maintain your population. It says anyway. Well, I think we need more of these in an actor colony. Or drama school. I'll continue to call them actor colonies so long as Caesar 3 exists as a game. It looks like anyway. Right, I can understand that, but you would have thought with being athletes they could move a bit further. He just turns around. Oh, that's frustrating. You know what I would like? You know in the game Cities XL? It's like SimCity, but better, I suppose. Particularly SimCity 5, is it? The one that was just awful and caused Maxis to disappear as a franchise. That and The Sims 4. But when you place down a building in Cities XL, it shows you the area of effect in terms of the roads. So if you put a police station down, suddenly this area here would turn, all these roads here would turn green or something like that. I think that'd be quite useful for something like that. So when you placed something down, you knew what the area of effect would be. And whether you have enough of them. Because we quite clearly haven't there. So what I'm going to do is going to destroy these two here. And whatever they were. Hoping they were just gardens. And then once the homeless have moved out of the way, another gymnasium. I'm not upgrading until somebody provides a gym. I can see that's going to be a bit of a problem because the actors don't feel like walking either. Oh, they don't feel like walking because nobody's arrived yet. You know, they've only just started performing. It's weird. Wait, I thought it was the same size as that, but it must be a little bit bigger. Thanking you. You'll notice that I've used all of it. What are you missing? 20 slabs of marbles, 4 loads of wood, 2 sculptures. I think ultimately what's holding it back is a lack of warehouses with marble in them. There are also storehouses, but the warehouses in Pharaoh. So I'll build 2 more, and I think... Ooh, that's a good idea. If I put them down to 16, so they reach only half full, you have double the number of... What do you might call them? Oxen carts? Because at the moment I've only got 2 that can carry 4 each. And you have to go all the way across the city, whereas that doubles, you know, we get twice the number. It should be done in half the time. This is by Jingo does fractions. Yay! Also could do with some more masonry shops. And some more workers, apparently. And I never did get around to building any posh housing. And you know what? I don't know if I actually said this during the introduction, but I think I said something to the effect of, oh, well, this mission shouldn't take long. We've already got a city and the goals are already half done. I've been doing this now for about half an hour now, I think, or 20 minutes. I've not actually completed any goals yet. Although I will set aside them. So I've not got the 48 marble, and I've not completed, well, anything. I doubt I will have the marble actually until. Ooh, thank you. I know, I've just done it. Set goods aside, goal has been met. In fact, what I might make them do is get 16, because these. Because you've got too many. There we go. Now, still got 107 workers needed. And I've kind of run out of housing. Like, nice though this is. I can't even really. They've got all the water they need. It's not my fault that Hoofus and Doofus here can't go in the right direction.
Mount Olympus isn't as nice as this city.
Thank you.
This city is more refreshing than any other city.
And its leader is the most sparkling.
Mutabas and Jepholocles. Well, thanks for the flattery, guys, but I'd rather you just did your job with a bit of ooh. Huh. Well, that's weird. Perhaps I move the roadblock down a smidgen. I can then put more masonry shops in. What I should also do is get more workers. I can't believe this. Water, water. I mean, it is everywhere. It's just that these people just... they're bloody incompetent. I might swap the places with the watch post. So we'll have that there. And that there. It'd be nice if they all just came out the right direction. I don't mind like the random turnings at intersections, that's fine. But it's the fact that they seem... Oh, thank you. I'll find out in a second what they want. Like, these haven't got water because those two fountains kept on sending water carriers out in divergent. So that one keeps sending it that way, that one keeps sending it out that way. No, that way. It's fine, that means they get double the water, but then they get none.
Worship me, and I will bring you more joy than any other god.
Right, where are they? Mycenii. We'll buy cheese and fleece and sell wood. Well, it's not usually in my nature to sell food because you never know when you might need some, but I am rather swamped with the stuff. So I don't see the harm. Next stop, Famitville. So sell some more fleece because we've got plenty, and sell plenty of cheese because you get a good price for them. Look at that, 45. It's not a lot, but for a food product, it's fairly good. I'm trying to see what it would be by comparison. Wheat at 27, for instance. So it makes economic sense to export your cheese and import your wheat. Makes more economic sense just to have enough cheese to feed everybody. Well, looks prosperous. The only reason we're not making money hand over fist is because they keep on spending it on construction. 4 slabs of marble. They're on the way somewhere. Look at all that cheese. That looks pretty delicious, I'm not going to lie. And so what I'm going to do is have a shrine to Athena over here, but first I want to double check my theory. The theory being that where's my theory? Oh yeah, that sanctuaries improve desirability. They say in Pharaoh, what kind of route have you taken? A roundabout one by the looks of it. So they are held back by nothing else apart from desirability. Sanctuary is to the messenger of Zeus. Hermes is finished. The quickness that is Hermes' special gift will now be your cities. That's a bit of a clumsy sentence. Delivery men, trade caravans and trade ships will move at a quicker pace and more traders will come to your city every year. Thanks, I think. But I think kind of that would only be useful if you have a city that you were selling multiple goods with. Because I remember there was one Pharaoh one set in one of the oases, but Dunkel Oasis? No, that's the really tough one that I never did. It was a Dakhla Oasis. Or is it? It's one beginning with B, Bayana Oasis, or something like that. Where I was held back on sandstone because all the trade caravans were bringing stuff, other imports to the city, like food and stuff like that, I think. Or reeds and raw materials. So all the trade caravans were being used for that. There was none left by the end of the year to provide sandstone. But given that all my trade is fairly one-dimensional at the moment, I don't think that's going to be a problem. I've said that it's only August and I'm only halfway through selling the amount of fleece that I want to. Oh well. Oh, it's another useful thing as well, like whenever cities want something, they'll just fulfill it. For instance, got 12 months to comply. Ethiopia begs for fleece. Due to a recent fire in our city, I, Cassiopeia of Ethiopia, am in need of skeins of fleece, and turn to you for help. And what should happen is Hermes should step in and say, "Don't worry about it, guys, I've got plenty of fleece, I'll sort this out." He also does provide a lot of desirability. I mean, what's more appealing than living behind a theatre?
Please let me fulfill an outstanding
There we go.
request.
I wouldn't dream of letting you touch the goods stored in your granaries and storehouses. Well, thank you, Hermes. But it is irritating because you get rivals that threaten you, and you're like, well, I don't want to give that. And Hermes is like, don't worry, guys, I'm going to submit that for you, and they'll think you're all weak, or whatever. Right, good. So that's what I thought might happen. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to build Athena's Sanctuary.
Could we hold some of the spinning
the spinning is starting to make me feel a bit dizzy. It's making me ill, sorry. If I'm going to recite lines from the bits of ambience from the city, I ought to recite them correctly. I might bring the sanctuary a bit closer than that. Because you are a kind master and sent 12 skeins to fleece my city, I, Cassiopeia of Ethiopia, think more highly of you than I did before. Well, isn't that lovely? So what I'm thinking is sanctuary to Athena here. Play than you can in a good conversation. That's a fair point. Because you can tell what kind of person they are by if they play fairly or not. That's a trifle distant, so let's shift them and rebuild it all over here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And a shed. It blows me. I didn't know that I'd actually had enough to fill the vacancies. Well, it doesn't tell you that employees aren't needed, does it? It only comes with the bad news. Short by 176, that's quite significant, but hopefully can be accounted for. Build me a pyre to roast my friend upon. Bit more beautification. If I put... Yes, that'd be useful. A happiness monument here so people can remember how happy they ought to be. Wise and... not beneficial. Benevolent leader. Didn't do that much good. Oh well. Hopefully the sanctuary will. We've got plenty of food. What are we talking about? So much cheese. It's great. So much cheese. There, that's what I was talking about. See, now they've got 4 oxen trains, whereas before they only had... Oh. Probably why I couldn't...
And I will bring you more joy than any other god.
What would give me joy is finishing the mission. And you're not going to achieve that, Zeus. I'm sorry. There's no way to talk to the Sky Father, I know, but... Well, you know, I'm a little annoyed with him today because... Look, I put some washing out, and it looked like a fine day. The sun was shining in the sky, but as soon as I got in the car and drove to town, within 2 minutes, I got down the road, it started raining, clouds appeared out of nowhere. So I turned the car around in some risky, some kind of like Starsky and Hutch type of manoeuvre, going round and roundabout, skidding away around at a wheel handbrake turn, and drove back the other way. Trying to hurry back when I was behind somebody going 29 miles an hour. Oh, thank you. And you as well. I have 12 wood. But yeah, tootling along like it wasn't middle of the week and people had places to go. So, you know, tooted my horn and flashed my lights and gesticulated wildly out of the window. But managed to do another handbrake turn down a second alternative route that they weren't going. Rushed back. Kicked the door down, stormed into the house, took the clothes out of off the washing line, brought them back into the house, caught my breath, and then within 2 minutes of doing all that and driving back into town, it was a beautiful day, not a cloud in the sky. Sun was shining and it was like nothing had ever happened. So yeah, I'm a little annoyed with the Sky Father. Yeah. As that happens, there wasn't too much damage done, just a bit of rainwater. But I still wasn't best pleased. Anyway, that's what I did today. What about you guys? Comment below on how Zeus has affected your day. Needn't be Zeus. There's some other As long as it's part of the main pantheon. You know, I don't want to get into the minor gods here. We need to be part of the main 13 gods of Mount Olympus. Sip of tea and continue. Here we go. I thought the game had crashed then for a second. What do we need? 16 loads of wood. So, I've got 12. Hey, Cassiopeia of Ethiopia. Oh, you don't actually provide. You don't actually provide wood, so I don't know where you're getting it from. Hey, Cassiopeia of Miletos, who should really have the same attitude, being as I've helped them both out. How would you like to give me some wood? Oof, that sounds a bit forward. They'd love to, because I own them. And it is my city that she's just taken over, helped herself to. Residents are improving, making improvements. Good, what I wanted to hear. Oh, that looks productive. Need 39 slabs of marble, 16 and 8 sculptures. I currently have 4. I might go so far as to actually buy what I need. Buy some bronze. Lovely. Once I've finished with the sculptures, I will build some posh housing here near the sanctuary to Athena and get these artisans guilds out of the way, because they're not artisans, they're riffraff and poor for desirability. Oof. Really short of workers. There's evidently been some devolution somewhere along the way, and some revolution. You want to live in a more appealing neighbourhood. I'm trying. Crikey, they're fast. Thanks. That seemed a little, I don't know if it seemed to you a little bit passive aggressive. He's given me not quite enough to finish the thing off. I can't give him back anything because I don't produce wine, but they produce wine because I built a shrine to Dionysus in there. I was there, I built it, I remember it. Perhaps they're drinking all the wine that I've given them. $16 loads of wood. Oh, maybe I'm alright. It's alright, I could just buy the rest. Oh, a few more sculptures. You can hold 8, but I want you to hold 6, so you'll always have room for at least 8 bronze, or 800 bronze, or however many bronze it takes. I think I've got enough, so I'll just sit and play the waiting game. Actually, no, I won't, because that's boring. What I'm going to do, while I'm waiting for my labour shortage problem to fix itself... You need more culture. What are you missing? You've got philosophers. Just about. Athletes, actors. There's not really much you can do about that. Huh. What I can do is get rid of that ill-placed roadblock.
And I will bring you more joy than any other
Whoops.
god.
I bet everybody's watching that. And for the last, hour or so has been, screaming at the screen. You've got a roadblock there, it's not a complete circuit. I know, I've done it myself. You, watch other people with Let's Plays who are missing out something crucial because they're too busy talking and trying to provide a commentary that's worth listening to. Which is hard in the... It's quite hard, especially when I've got anything to say. And all the while, everything's going wrong because they've just missed out some crucial little thing. That should fix stuff. I'm hoping. In fact, things have got progressively worse. Look, I only need... There we go. I only need one actor to go in that direction. Right, there should be nothing stopping them. Yes! That's the stuff. You've stopped, but I don't blame you because you're living behind a theatre rather than... I think that... Do they have a slight negative effect? I wouldn't like to live near a theatre. All the applause and like groaning from the audience would get on my nerves. Late night performances, you know, people coming and going to the theatre late at night. It's just noisy. I end up living near an actor as well. Ugh. What do I mean by that? I don't know. Just imagine they're just... Thank you. Just terrible neighbours. Just so dramatic. Labour shortage is looking okay. So what I'll do now... I think we can build some houses that go directly onto the... next to the sanctuary. They ought to have the desirability. And then we'll build a nice big block here. Or is that too big? I don't know. Don't care. The Grand Agora. Oh, but first. No. First the Grand Agora. Then the nice roads. It's the one, the boulevards. Still left enough room, haven't I? Two, three. Maybe the high appeal. Oh, it's not finished it yet, but when it's finished, it'll be high appeal. Should I move my palace as well? I might relocate the palace. Yes. Because I think that has an effect on desirability as well. Well, maybe it doesn't, I'm not sure. I'm going to assume that it does. Because it does in Pharaoh, and what works in Pharaoh should work in ZEUS. It's not much of a Grand Agora without some shops either. So, the standard, food, fleece, oil, and arms as well. Now I should be bringing in enough bronze to maintain a couple of armories, just as a matter of course. So if we have 3, that should be enough. And let's put a storehouse here that just accepts armour and... well, we can't have wine, so... When we can get wine, they can get wine.
You have made me your enemy, and I
Oh,
shall
not
make
again.
the sea your enemy too.
Just want to set up a sea trade route. There we go, that's what should have happened last time. Oh, there he is.
You have made me your enemy,
And I shall make the sea your enemy too. See, I could be an actor. I have come down from Mount Olympus. I just built up a nice... Ooh. You've drawn the great Athena, goddess of warriors, crafts and wisdom to your city by honouring her with a sanctuary. Inspired by her very presence, your city soldiers have grown stronger and a grove of olive trees has sprung up near your sanctuary, and she herself has promised to help the city defend itself from both internal and external threats. Great, well if you could do something about Poseidon. Don't think she can though. Each has like a counter god that can deal with them. Like Zeus can deal with anybody, but I think he's like a level 1 god. Poseidon and Hades are level 2 because he's like the brothers of Zeus, but not quite Zeus. So nobody else but Zeus can defeat them. And then you have like underneath that some like cause and effect ones. So Hephaestus can be combated with Aphrodite. That's about the only one that I remember off the top of my head. But you know, you have to have certain gods who will fight off other gods. But you know, you've never been. I'd rather he just cursed them. Couldn't he just curse them rather than destroying them? Oh yeah, culture. I also need to put a maintenance shed in. What kind of culture do we need? Gymnasium, a theatre. Yeah, standard. Podium. We can also get rid of these artisans guilds because we haven't really got the spare workers just yet. We also need a tax office, you know, post haste. I destroyed that and then thought against it, but there's no going back in this game. I might put here. Well, Poseidon's busy destroying the coastline. I may as well focus on happier things. An infirmary, I know it's not pleasant to live by, but you'll thank me when you're not dying of disease. The usual kind of college drama school. And oh, we need a stadium as well. That's nice. Ah, we've almost got enough workers. And there's still people arriving. That's nice to know. It might eventually get up to mild unemployment. Fleece is too distant, olive oil is too distant. Idle kits. Oh, I couldn't possibly travel that far. Fine, I'll hire somebody who will. Well, it sounds like Poseidon's got bored and gone somewhere else. Get 16. Get... You guessed it, 16. As soon as I can find it. And then you... can get your armour. Lovely. It's alright, I'll just do the Agora's job for them. I thought it was a high appeal area. Can't make improvements until they get some armour. Armour is on the way. There it is.
Worship me, and I will bring you more joy than any other god.
I think Athena's going to go over there and bless all of them to make him even more productive than they were before, but I don't need it. I'm fine, thanks. So much olive oil. So very much. 153. We've actually gone down.
Let me fulfill an outstanding request.
That was fast. I've only just got the news. Wait, what city was it? Ethiopia again? I want Ethiopia to beg for... I want Miletos to be in trouble, because they've got stuff they can actually give me in return. Well, I got off fairly lightly. Considering the Kraken used to destroy everything, Poseidon's fairly benevolent. They'll be even more benevolent when they build a sanctuary to Zeus. Scare him off. Right, in the meantime, you want 16 skeins of fleece and 6 pieces of sculpture. We currently have 4. I don't want to ask them for more bronze, because we've got nothing to offer them in return. Some of these must have some armour, I could have sworn. Oh, there is some armour, he's just not taking it from the storage yard to the Agora yet. Like, he's got one job. No problem. Ooh. That's the best we can do until we get some wine, I'm afraid. Is it me, or do we always seem to have housing vacancies? We just seem to be unable to maintain a stable population. Woo. View society graph. Just everybody's middle class. There's something I quite like about Anno 1403, is it? In the you have to have a hierarchy. Like, you can't have everybody as a noble unless you have a certain amount of patricians support a certain amount of nobles and a certain amount of citizens support a certain. So you've always got to have some people on the bottom rung. It's quite nice. And, you know, thanking you. Ah, good. That's what I wanted. That's not what I wanted. I may as well set aside the jugs of olive oil as well. I mean, what do we need? I keep losing the hero hall. There it is. It just needs 2 more pieces of sculpture.
My advice to you is get married. If you find a good wife, you will be happy. If not, you'll become a philosopher.
If you find a good wife, if it's a happy marriage, if it's a good marriage, you'll be happy. If not, you'll become a philosopher. Don't want to import any wood. Got plenty, thanks. Can anybody do anything for me? Batrosian buys plenty. Ethiopia buys wine. Miletos sells wood. Yeah, that'll do. I think I'd like some more bronze, but what can you do? It's painfully slow. Waiting. It's going to be another year if I'm not careful till I get another sculpture. Look, somebody's devolving again. They've not got enough food. I don't know why not, because there's plenty. Miletos, old bully old pal. Well, you give me some more bronze.
Worship me, and I will bring you more joy than any other god.
Perhaps I need to have a granary that's a bit closer by. Like there. And you just get everything. Because they're hopeless. Really. Thank you. Hey, he's still loyal. Did not see that. Yeah, I don't usually bully my subjects. Well, I do bully my subjects like that, but it's only to speed things along. Oh. Really? That's going to take an age to bring back. Oh well. Time to pay people a lot. Shut down some industries that...
That's one of the women's line. Darn it.
Sorry, I got to stop laughing at things that I'm not explaining. It's the ambient noise beforehand. Oh well, you had to be there. Shut down olive oil because I don't need it at the moment. And shut down... Probably shut down the marble as well. There we go. And now we just wait an age for everything to come back up again. I can't believe they ran out of food. Thank you. Ooh. Quick, go. So much olive oil. It's going to take an absolute age to bring the population back up. I'm really quite... well, not annoyed. I find it a little irksome. Given that the food shop has nothing else to do apart from go to and from the granaries. It knows where they are.
Worship me, and I will bring you more joy than any other god.
And just to let that happen, somebody needs the sack. That's just what I'm saying.
I'm Perseus,
And I cannot be stopped. Bring on any challenge and I shall face it down. Where's that acting again?
It is truly a pleasure to live in this city.
Now he's got the right idea. Far better than Jason. Just grumbles and moans. Like Perseus is my kind of guy. As in he flatters me. I mean, look at that. How many people come a month? It's December now. 20 people have arrived. 24 people a month. Thanking you. Oh, we can probably shut down your statue industry as well. Just don't need it. Oh, my tea's gone cold. What I can do is start the marble industry back up. I'll lower wages again once all the industries are set up. What's their problem? Appeal of the neighbourhood. There we go, that's appealing. Well, I thought it was appealing anyway. Would a Doric column help? Not really. Oh well. I guess there's always going to be limitations. Ooh, what I'll do is I'll build a colony monument around by the posh housing. They might appreciate it more. Some more nice housing. Have them there, they still benefit from the desirability from the sanctuaries, I think. Ah, good. 8% unemployment. Let's turn back on the olive industry. Yes. Oh, do I have to tell him to go? Let's get Athena's mirror shield. There we go, I've got a troop and a bit of hoplites, just in case. It's not an impressive military, but it's a military, that's what counts. So, given that I don't need any sculptures anymore, I'll rebuild the armory that I shut down. I could have just told it to stop working. Actually, no, you can't. You can in Emperor. You can tell certain buildings to stop working. Not a bad idea. Rather than shutting down an entire industry, you just say, well, half of you just stop working. I can tell you which half as well. Let's build you a nice big fish pond. There we go. And let's have a commemorative monument over here to remind people of how happy they are. And then some more elite housing here. It is a high appeal area. What are we talking about?
Wonderfully wise you are.
Thank you.
Completed my quest.
Well, I didn't. Perseus did. But maybe that's who he was talking to. The mirror shield will help you and Perseus through difficult times ahead. To celebrate, you may now construct a commemorative monument dedicated to me, the wise goddess Athena. We're going to wait, see if Hermes does anything for me. You know, I don't think he always fulfills the quest.
If you worship me, my beloved hound will watch over your city.
It's good, but can you defeat Poseidon? Ooh, look at those taxes coming in, 7,262. It's actually more than exports, which is nice. With employment of 5%. So what happens if I turn olive oil back on? Ooh. Should be okay then. I keep on saying this, and the game keeps on proving me wrong.
Please let me fulfill an outstanding.
There we go. People are very happy. Good to know. Now, where can I build it, though? Maybe I can just stockpile them. So I've got a smaller Athena statue and a happiness monument. I probably need one over here to get these houses to upgrade to even greater splendour. And then we'll dispatch Perseus again, off you go, to get Hades' helmet of invisibility. Really would have thought when I built the sanctuary to Hades, he would have come down and given it to me. Would have been nice. Oh, you need to keep on checking up on your cattle? No. Livestock. Because the sanctuaries keep on nicking them for sacrifices. So I suppose what I ought to do periodically is just make sure they're all up to capacity. See, they've already nicked 2. They've nicked 2 sheep.
Could we halt some of the spinning, please?
The spinning is making me dizzy. Perhaps it's a bit far for them to take the goats. Thanking you. Yeah, they're not taking any goats, but they have started taking sheep. If you don't take anything like that, they take food out of your granaries. If they don't ask you, I don't tell you that you're doing it. And if you don't notice, it can cause problems. Right, a few more people in the city, that's great. There's no reason not to have... Ooh. Let's just make that a little better. Just a small housing block here. The sole purpose of pushing down wages. If I build an agora here, they're going to... They're both going to get food from the same place. It's probably going to be a bit of a problem. Food.
With your help,
Oh.
Perseus has obtained a shiny shield and some fine headwear that will prove invaluable to him and to you. Argos' stature is continuing to rise, but for the city to reach its apex, you must again expand its borders. It would be wise to establish this colony in an area of the world distant from your first colony, to avail yourself of the resources of different regions. Your 2 colonies, however, will be so far from each other that their only contact with each other will be through Argos.
That's fair enough. So I guess I'll build that up when I come back to the city afterwards, assuming I do. So there we go. It's time to go and establish a colony. Should I do that next time, or... Yeah. But that'll be in the next video, because then I've got a nice break here, and then we'll start clean and fresh, new scenario, new video, new everything. So I'll see you next time in... Oh, I don't know. Coles has done a thing. Oh, we'll find out.